was Dublin Central Housing Action. And several months ago, back in May, they're involved in tenant support at an eviction in Summerhill Parade. Now this place I guess, it was symbolic, and we chose it for our occupation because of its kind of symbolism. It kind of crystallises all that's wrong with housing in Ireland. There were a series of 5 houses in a row owned by a guy called Pat O'Donnell from Clare, and they're basically modern tenements. In these buildings he packed in 120 Brazilian English language students into bedrooms, 5 to 8 people in a room, mould on the walls, rooms that were eventually condemned by the fire brigade as death traps, that kind of thing. So the people were eventually evicted, and the buildings have been empty ever since then. And it's kind of remarkable to look at the buildings. There's 5 perfectly good Georgian buildings that could easily be taken into public use again and used to house people. And that's kind of where we came at this question, at this movement from. So on the 7th of August, the 7 groups that I mentioned at the start got together, and we framed this as a direct action. We got together, a normal kind of formula, the rally on O'Connell Street. No one really knew what we were about to do. From there we took to the streets and marched to Summerhill Parade, and luckily the door was open when we got there and we walked in and occupied the place. That occupation lasted for 11 days, far more than any of us had expected it to last. And it was kind of framed around 3 central demands. So I said earlier on that we wanted the spectacle of these empty houses lying vacant in an area where there is such a massive housing need. It's kind of lost on none of us. So our first demand was